America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order. First thing on the agenda, public speaking. Anybody got something to say?
I do. Miss Buckley, did they give you the inventory for January?
I don't have a copy of it, no. But I have not been, it could be on my desk, I don't know.
Did you guys do an inventory this year?
He asked if you guys did an inventory this year.
Not yet.
Alright, you, say what?
He's gonna turn the furnace down.
Okay.
Turn it on.
You know that it's due to Miss Buckley by the second Monday of January, right? Unless our trustees just aren't subject to the Ohio Revised Code.
Yep, it ain't got done yet.
Sounds good. Ms. Buckley, is there any update on the audit and the unaccounted for money that you were concerned you were gonna have to pay out of pocket?
We were able to retrieve one receipt, but I was not able to retrieve the $1,000 receipt. I have not been notified what they're going to do about that at this present time. All the stuff is being finalized at the auditor's office, and I'm just waiting for a confirmation from them, and then a set date for us to go over the audit.
Yes, ma'am. Alright, I'll pass to somebody else.
I'm here with the same questions I've had for the last 3 years.
Okay, before you go any further. Young Road's going out for bid this month. Okay? We are predicting, hopefully, if the bids come back right, we're gonna open bids next meeting, would be March meeting. Construction will start in April, after we award the bids. Construction will start in April and has to be done before the 16th of June.
Now tell me how this all came about, just out of curiosity, because,
Well, he got
nothing's moved for, all this time. You've had the funding for a year now, and how did this all come about?
He just finally got the design done.
Who?
Buckley Group Clinton.
Currently?
So we had to wait a couple weeks on the institutions to tell us to go ahead and bid. Make sure the money was there. I got the message from Jennifer Klein the other day, and they're
What organization is the Jennifer Klein?
High Public Works.
Public Works. That's the $89,000?
That's $89,187 and EMA covers the rest of it.
Yeah, plus our local share.
And his bid that we're bidding is $322,415.
So that'll come in a little low.
If we gotta stay under that bid or right in that area.
Well, you got $396,000. You got $396,000 is what you got funded.
Yeah, but his quote was, after we got the design done, was $322,415.
That sounds good.
Hopefully our bids come in less than that, so we don't have to rebid it and try to find extra money.
Well, you got $396, so it could come in up to that, couldn't it? You got $396 that has not been obligated.
Yeah.
So it could come, if it came in a little over the 320 or whatever, you don't have to worry about funding. What happened to all this clamor about there wasn't enough money and the project wasn't the wall wasn't long enough? What happened there?
I guess they approved it. He sent the information to
Jeff Maiden?
Laura and well, actually, Laura and Jennifer had to approve it to get the length because we needed extra money for that length.
Well,
So they must have approved it.
so there's extra money coming for the length of the wall?
As far as I know.
Well, there's more than 396, right?
No.
I think it was something like that.
I will give you a copy of what I've received, but this is what, this is what Jennifer sent on February the third.
This is Ohio Public Works?
This is from, yes,
Yeah.
Ohio Public Works. It was to Jennifer Klein. It says, Jennifer, the delay on Young Road landslide, this was from Clinton to them. The delay on Young Road landslide repair was due to the design time involved with realignment and establishing cross sections of the road and wall. Typically, the road alignment is left intact by slips, but the landslide took the entire road. The time involved with redesigning the road alignment and elevations that go along with this contributed to the extra time needed. Let me know if we are good to go to, if we are good to go to bid based on the estimates provided. And then she sent back, just thank you so much, can you provide an updated estimate project schedule that can be updated and put on the file? And that's the one that Bob had given you.
Okay. I appreciate that.
So, yeah, so that's what they're telling us. They're telling us the updated project schedule would include a bid opening early March, contract execution until early April. The contractor thinks it'll take about 2.5 months, so they want a completion date of June the 16th. So,
I can have a copy of that because
Mhm,
there
yes,
will be
I
some
brought
very
you-
happy people.
I brought you a
on-
copy of it, so.
Or whatever I can see. Well, thank you, Bob.
So several phone calls Friday. Me and Clinton were back and forth on the phone with Jennifer for about 2 hours, and we finally got approved of the money, so.
Very good. You know,
That was the best news I've had in 4 years.
well, the best news,
3 years, whatever.
the best news we've had for 988 days, Bob.
Well, it just kind of went, I mean,
May 21st, 2020.
it was kind of stalled, and then all of a sudden, we just kept getting emails saying,
Well-
okay, this is approved, this is approved, this is approved, so.
I'm just pleased. I don't want to get into it.
No, I'm just saying that, you know, it has been stalled, and we understand that, but we were kind of at the mercy of but for whatever reason, they were able to get everything approved and designs done and all that.
All right, I would appreciate any documentation you have
Yeah,
about.
I've got your copy right here.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
And one thing is, that on our township roads, and a lot of township roads in southeastern Ohio, our traffic is so low on some of the roads, that they hate to put the money out just to fix a road like that, you know? I've been told that.
Well, I'm
You
sure.
gotta argue with them and argue with them.
You've also been told that squeaky wheel gets the grease too. And we
But that's
I've been all over this country, Bob, one way or for one reason or another, over my life. We got the worst roads in the country, as far as I know.
probably.
Yeah. No one has gravel roads, dirt roads, except down here in southeastern Ohio. And it's a shame.
But to get money to do these roads, you know, the way we wanna do them, and everybody wants, it's terrible down here in southeast Ohio. Willie can tell you that from the state. I mean, they had trouble from southeastern Ohio, I'm assuming.
No, the rest of the state doesn't have these roads.
It's just crazy.
Well, anyway, I appreciate, the news. And there'll be a bunch of people over on Young Road that are gonna hear about it tomorrow evening. Thank you.
Unless something changes, that's the plan.
Well, don't.
I hope nothing changes.
Don't put the caveat on it. Can I get a copy of that, Ms. Buckley, right now?
Yeah,
Cause I'm gonna leave.
okay.
I'm gonna go call people. Well, I'm gonna go call these people. They'll be pleased. We've been waiting almost 3 years for this.
How you coming on the water line?
We're sending in money for, taps.
Your emails are at the end. This is the copy of the cross sections, and then that was the funding.
The water line is go in the spring, as far as I know. What they told me, the construction's gonna start in the spring. Other ones, they're collecting money on taps right now. They got, they expanded that project into 3 different roads
Right.
to make it a better package. the way to talk. And,
Sometimes that's what you gotta do.
well, the problem is, we'll probably be the young world will probably be the last ones to get it,
In 5 days, it's hard to tell.
but at least, you know, that's another 50-year project, trying to get water out of the world.
Yep.
But anyway, thanks again.
You are.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Hope I see you guys again sometime.
Anybody else?
My job is done.
You will.
Question, when are we gonna get anything done, 119? There's a hump in the road down there that cars drag every time they go. There's 96 holes in a mile and 2/10 that need to be filled. We got logs in the ditch where the water runs down and runs out the road instead of down the ditch. They've been in there, some of them been in there 3 or 4 years. And there's 2 or 3 logs that's hanging out almost into the road, over the top of the ditch. It's been there for 3, 4, 5 years, I don't know how long.
What do you think, Willie? Your road.
Throw him under the bus.
Throw you under the bus, sir. Fine. Or truck, whichever.
See, we got planned for them next week, week after this. They still gonna be on Metcalf?
I can pull them off mid-calf anytime. Well, I'm not gonna pull them off next day or so because we're
Right.
rick-raffing that crypto that we're forty out, so.
Okay.
Next week, if we don't
Following
get
week.
done over, I can pull them out, cause we can go back to that.
Okay.
I mean, that's no big deal.
Alright.
And down there where you put the culvert in, like is, and it's got a dip in the middle of it too. It's been like that ever since you put it in there.
The only thing we can do is put some,
You know, it just needs to be leveled up, so it needs to be done. Take the grader and get it.
well, we get it. We can put some 304s in there or 617s, that's all we can do right now, because we can't get nothing else to do anyway. Whatever really wants, I mean, that's what guys will do.
As far as that hump, I mean, once we get in there and take it completely out, then you can bust that road open.
Well, it's already busted open, where it's humped up out of there. The dirt mud has come up through there.
They're gonna peel some of it off.
But there, you can see every day where cars go through there and drag the bottom on it. Or they don't bother me, cause I just run over top of it with the tire. I know it's there,
Knock it down, huh?
I know it's there, but the other people don't.
If the weather's good, we'll get them off next week. What do you think, Will? I mean, I can pull them off, like I say, I can pull them off of Midcalf Road through there. We're just trying to get things patched
Right.
up over there right now, stay out of the lawsuit again with that guy.
Thank you.
Well, anybody else? Well, if not, we're going to pay the bills. Motion to pay the bill?
Motion to pay, funds are sufficient.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Yes, money is sufficient, at least as of right now. Okay, since we did not have a meeting in February, oh my gosh, January. There was some bills that were paid in January. Of course, payroll was done in January for the workers. Excuse me, we have a check for $29,250 for Westview Volunteer Fire Department for the new 1996 Pierce fire truck. Yes, you will see that it's only $29,250 because the other amount was $3,250, and it was a electronic deposit or electronic electronic transfer, thank you, to their bank, from our bank. And that was to give us the ability to put a 10% down on that, on the particular truck. So it was held, so they took it out of service, and held it, and then when they went up to pick the truck up on the flatbed, we presented the check at that time for the difference. We had a replacement window, for car auto glass. What piece of equipment was that for?
Backhoe,
Thank
case
you.
backhoe.
Cause it didn't say on my receipt, I knew it was one of the big pieces, I just didn't know what it was.
Rubber tar hose.
And, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure. We had when you guys worked on the red truck, Wecan Fabrication, Wecan Fabricators, fabricated
Cylinder mount.
cylinder mounts. I was trying to remember what my thing said, for $682. So we wrote the check for them. We had Baum Lumber of $42.23, that was for some bags. I think that's what that was for. That's our first one, so,
That was for a foot valve for our, pump over there.
yeah. It was, no, the Baum's Lumber, it was for, a file for the chainsaws, and the other one was a 2-pack of 15 to 22 gallon filter bags and a 5 to 20 gallon standard filter.
That was the one for.
So that was $42.33, yep. Cause, well, I just got the invoice. Elko aggregate, we have, it's a 1854. Maybe. That was for the rest, for part of December. That's what it was for. As soon as I find the check, guys, we'll be good. Maybe. Here it is. Yeah. So that was 1854. Oh, I promise it's here. I'm just gonna find it. Oh well. I'll get to that one in a minute. When they went to look at the truck, there was, one of the firefighters took his personal vehicle. So I had a check for $60.65 to Jared Nutter, cause he drove his vehicle. And that was a reimbursement for his gasoline. So it's right here. Sorry. Randy Moore Petroleum was $22.43.41. It was for part of gas in December and part of gas, at the end of January. Peppers Plains Chester Water, this was for January and February both, it was $118.30 for both the township and the fire department. Riverview Industrial, this was for gloves and a drill bit set, was $250.30. We usually do that at the beginning of the year. And they have to replace those gloves throughout the year as well. They don't last very long. TV One Stop, it was for $54.91. We had some hardware for the red dump truck, and then we had hardware for the boomer, I believe. I don't remember now. Yeah, boomer. One was $22.76 and the other one was $32.15. Pine Tree Towing and Recovery is the one that, actually hauled the, truck down for us. It was $1,850 is what they charged us to, go to, from here to Pittsburgh and back. Tractor Supply, we had one outstanding charge of $28.41. It was for the F-350 truck. No, and I'm still trying to I'm still working on that account. When I access it through the online portal, if there is nowhere in there that allows me to update the buyer's information, I cannot find it in there. So I'm still trying to locate it. We had an outstanding bill, from Miller Communication. This was for 3 pagers and 3 chargers with chargers and batteries, and it was from back in October. I don't know what the problem was. I don't know if they didn't send it to me originally, but it was for $1,066.50. They sent it down to me, I looked at it, got verification that yes, we did purchase those, and I wrote them a check. Unfortunately, that's the problem with email sometimes. Okay, this is for, Randy's Ag. It was $343, it was for hydraulic fluid, it was also for, I don't know what it was, blades, bolts, nuts, washers for the boom mower. Shelley Materials. It was for $251.19, and it was for, ice control.
Okay.
And Allen Stone Company, this is the big one, gentlemen, so hold on to your hats. It's for $106,688.25.
That's what we got from FEMA, so.
Yeah, so before everyone has a heart attack, the money that we received, we had the bill, Buckley Group sent me a message and said, hey, what is the status on the payment for this particular, bill? And I told him, I said, once I got the bill, I turned around and I emailed it to Laura, and she had told me in an email that it would take, she would put it in they have batches, and she said it could take 3 to 4 weeks. So I sent it back to Clinton, I told him this is what the status is on this particular, thing. Okay, thank you, he passes on to Allen Stone. It wasn't, but a week and a half later, we received the amount, and it was for $110,014.40. So,
When did we get that check?
this was dated the 30th, but we didn't get it until, it was like Friday. It was just this past Friday, so I got it.
Well, I talked to their accountant over there last Wednesday, I think it was. And I told him we still waiting on the money for the
Yeah.
FEMA.
Yeah, so, and that's what it was, so, you know, that's a big chunk of change, and we just don't have that amount of money to just write a check and send off to them, so, that's why there was a little bit of delay in that one. But as I said, that was the
Well,
check
the
that was
agreement was when they
received.
done the slip, that they would wait for the money when it come from FEMA.
Yeah.
Remember, I talked to him, or we talked to him that day.
So, that was the status on that, I'm sorry.
You gonna give us a check? for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you the check. I was looking for the invoice so you could sign off on it. I may have made a copy and stuck it in the file. Apologize for that. down. I'll pull it up on my computer so you guys can see it. So I said, I must have made the copy and put it in the file, I forgot to attach it to the check, so I'm looking. I'm so concerned about the Young Road today. I'll pull it out so you guys can take a look at it. So that was it for that, and then there's payroll.
Did you get the email I sent you the other day?
For, I don't know.
Well, if I can bring it up here again.
No, here it is. Here's the bill, the invoice for their construction, and as I said, it was $106,688.25. But you guys can take a look at it if you want.
Attached to this,
Yeah,
flip over.
oh yes, I got that already, it's been paid.
We don't sign the check on it.
No, because it's done electronically, that's how they do,
Oh.
that's how the auditor, that's how the, UAN fees are all done, it's all done electronically. They don't like paper checks. I won't say they don't like them, they prefer everything to be done electronically. So that was the huge check, and according to what they're telling me, there'll be another check that will come in. And I don't know if it's for Alan Stone, it wasn't specific, it just said there'll be a, that's one, and then there'll be a, not version two, there'll be a second bill that will come through. They didn't say
Yeah.
how much money it would actually be or anything of that nature.
It's the follow-up on it.
It may just be what we owe out of our own township money. As I said, it wasn't specific.
We shouldn't know anything because that was supposed to be covered fully by FEMA.
I'm hoping so. But any checks I get, I turn around and send to Laura, and then she puts them into the system, into the batches, and then they get sent to us. That's how we've been able to pay for most, Roadside Park Road was the FEMA money that came in, so. Payroll is the same, it wasn't, the budget didn't decrease. Cause they're paid based on our budget.
I'm hoping they get a raise since we're just looking.
Well, depending on if we get, how much more money we get, that will also be a thing, depending on how much money is brought in from the Young Road, that goes into our budget amount, and that also causes our budget to increase as well.
FEMA
Anytime,
money don't, does it?
yeah, any revenue that comes in, that goes into our account is, that's how they base the budget on. And then these are electronic payments, Frontier, your bill at the firehouse is about $97. That's about as low as we can get.
So we got an
Not
equal all
97,
these?
$79 at the firehouse, sorry.
We got an equal all these or what?
No, you can just initial the top page. It's just all the invoices that are attached to that. So yeah, $72.35 is what your firehouse, is what your Frontier bill is at the firehouse. So it's about half of what it used to be. Still don't have internet. So, I said, still don't have internet, but at least you have a phone, so. You can just initial those, those are just the phone bills. And I don't know if you want me to bring this up, this is not bills, so I can bring it up in new business or, now. Depending on when you want me to bring it up. One is the insurance and, two are two bills that, I don't know what they are for. One is, it's for Deermere Heartland, the message on here says, send a copy to Jim Ford, they will pay half.
I know what that is.
And
I'll
well,
explain it to you.
and that's fine, because the address that's on there was the old fiscal officer's address, so that's the
Yeah.
reason that one, I did not get a copy, so.
Well, you didn't get a copy because Troy ordered, this is for our chipper,
Oh, okay,
both of us, I mean. They ordered the parts,
oh, okay,
so they had to use our account to get the parts, and they didn't have an account there.
oh, okay,
Well, evidently, they haven't changed the address up there from Dottie's yet, so,
I didn't even know we
That-
had an account with them, so,
yeah, yeah. So that's what it is.
or inactive
And
account,
they
I
said
should
they'd
say.
pay half, we paid the other
Okay.
half.
Alright, I just didn't know what it was for, and it's like, I don't know what this is for, so. I'll send it, I'll email it to
I should've
Jen.
wrote that on that.
Yeah, that's
paper,
fine, I just didn't know what it was for, so that's why I thought I'd ask. One is for Skinner, I don't have an invoice, all I got was a statement. When Skinner sends these, I get the statement via email, but I never get anything else with it. And I haven't seen any invoices from you guys. It was supposedly on January the 10th, it was for $365, but I don't know what it's for.
They usually don't leave us an invoice. They usually just bill us.
But I don't know what it's for.
Well, I
The
don't.
last time they were here was the greater tire, but that seems like a lot for,
And I don't
Flat
have
repair.
anything in the system that we paid, because that was, as I said, that was January, the other one is, truck sales and service. I don't know what it's for either. As I said, I have no invoices to go with it.
Truck sales and service, that's the starter on the white truck.
that's what that would be.
The new starter we put on it went bad, so we had to put another new starter on.
Okay,
But that should have been under warranty, that should be under warranty, 'cause it's a
Should
year
be.
warranty, and going on there like 4 or 5 months.
I don't know, gentlemen, it just says pay $448.98 on it, so that's why I wasn't
Well,
gonna
this
pay
has
it.
to be the
because I
greater
know it
car,
was-
that's the last time he was down there.
Yeah. But, wow.
Well, it's hard to get anybody to work on them greater cars, so.
I will send, I think the lady's name is Tara, I think that's what her name is. Yeah, Tara or Tara, I don't know. I'll send her an email and ask her if she can give me the invoice for this and, cause
Okay.
I'm not paying it till I know what it's actually for, so.
The driver never leaves us an invoice when he comes down, the repair guy never leaves us an invoice, that I've ever got one.
Me either.
Well, it just says invoice and there wasn't an invoice attached to it, it was just this statement, so
Right.
it's like, I don't know what it's for. Sorry,
Greater
guys.
repair was the last that I recall them being here.
Yeah.
Okay, insurance policy. When we got the original, which was like, I don't know, like the day before you guys went and got the truck, or it came in the day after you guys went and got the truck. Cause I asked her, I said, when are we gonna get our policy, and she said, it'll be here. The original amount was $17,714. That was for everything on here, but I want you guys to, we need to go through and make sure that everything's on here that we have is covered. just to make sure that they didn't drop something off or put something on erroneously. Cause I had her put the new Pierce truck on as soon as we did. We raised our liability last year to $5 million. We can raise it again. Once we put the new Pierce truck on, it raised it to $18,867. If we raise it to $6 million liability, I don't think that we need to, it increases it by $899. But that covers everything, all of the buildings, all of the equipment, all of the vehicles, all of the, fire equipment and trucks, their building, so.
I don't think we need to raise it, what do you guys think? $5 million, money.
Yeah, so that's, I just need a, I just need a motion to say go ahead and pay the, insurance, at the 18,000.
I'll make a motion.
Hang on, just a little discussion. When does it due? When do we have to make the payment?
As soon as possible. That's how it is. Once they send it to us, then it's a turnaround.
If we were to change insurance companies, other than just the coverage itself, is there anything else that we lose by not joining Otarma?
That I don't know.
Because there's I have a quote from another insurance company that specializes in townships and fire departments. And his, right now, is quite a bit more than what? The information you sent him, remember, Mr. Williamson? And it's $16,838 for an annual payment. Premium payment.
Okay. Does that also include the coverage of our bonds, of our?
Well, that's what I'm asking, what do
Well,
we-
I don't
what do we
know,
think?
that's because I've not seen that, so I can't tell you. I just know that, we don't do a bond, so to speak, but they cover us as far as any ill will, anything like that comes through, it's covered through our insurance policy.
What's the deductible on it? Do you pay any deductible? Because when we got robbed here and they stole everything, Otarma never asked any questions, they just told us to go buy what we need and send the bills. There was no,
I think it's comparable. I don't think there's a deductible here. The one big thing about this, they pay for replacement values on the vehicles. For replacement cost, not replacement values. I don't understand it enough or know enough about it to actually translate what he told us.
what
That's
he,
why I
what
asked.
he needs to do is come to one of our
That-
meetings and
that's-
explain it to us.
Yeah, well, he was going to, but he had to go into surgery.
Listen, he told me, no, he called me one night and told me if we had questions, give him a call tonight and he'd answer them. On his cell number.
Does his cover cyber as well? Cyber coverage? Does he have cyber coverage on his policy?
Have what?
It's cyber coverage, it's for our internet.
Computers and that kind of
Computers.
thing. Like I said, I don't understand it well enough to translate what he told us all that day. And he needs to, we need to meet with him. He said he'd either do it over the phone, in person, or a Zoom meeting. I don't think it's gonna be in person because you gotta recover from hip surgery.
Well, personally, I like to talk to somebody in person. Because sometimes in Zoom meetings, you miss a lot. I think, I don't know. When does that have to be paid, you said?
As soon as possible. I mean, all I can do is send Wendy an email and ask her what, if there's specific things that you guys want answered that I can't find in here. You know, but I know it does cover our faithful performance bonds. So, and then there's other things that it does as well.
You get $1,000 grant money from them too.
Well, actually, we get 1,500 because we get 500 and then the
If you're
firehouse
there,
gets
that'd
1,000.
probably be available either.
Yeah,
To the what?
it's the more grant.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, I don't know, I mean, you know, it's kind of one of these that,
If we leave those.
because I've not looked at that, I can't tell you what we'll lose and what we won't, because I have to, it's comparing apples to apples, you have to look at it.
My statement's gonna be, let's table it. Let's go ahead and pay this for this year. But we gotta have coverage. I think we out here operating on coverage. And we'll send some of our money back if we decide to go to that, I would say.
Yeah,
But
I
I
don't
don't wanna
know.
lose,
Well, I don't know if there's, because it goes through Burnham Flowers here in Ohio is who are, Otarna is the big one out in Illinois, and then Burnham Flowers is who represents them here stateside. So, you know, all we have to do is pick up the phone when we have a claim or something like that, and then they get back with us. And
I don't wanna lose
Then they
that
send-
Moore's grant, because that buys them stuff for the workers, safety equipment, and stuff like that.
yeah, and then they actually sent us the more grant application in both of them, so. And then they've added, let's see, communicable disease coverage is also, cyber liability, communicable disease sublet under legal liability for general liability claims, so. Like I said, I can't tell you until I've actually looked at it.
Okay,
So motion to do something.
really started.
Make a motion, we give the Dharma the insurance.
Yeah, given the time constrictions, I agree.
All in favor? Aye.
Yeah, if anybody wants to try to decipher this, it's all, he's got it all broken down here.
I ain't much for deciphering that
The
stuff, I do not
turnout
have to
gear,
talk to somebody.
each truck and, okay, like the turnout gear, and like I told you earlier, Bob, this company specializes in fire departments, so they know what they're talking about as opposed to, well, I suppose the Tarma knows what they're talking about as well. But turnout gear, it's not even listed on our Tarma, package. And it's included in the miscellaneous equipment here. And one thing that they, and it's a selling point, I recognize that, they reimburse a policyholder every year, and they have for the past 45 years, 25% of your premium comes back to you every year.
Yeah, we get a premium from Otarma because, I'm not gonna say partway through the year because I don't remember when, but usually March or April, sometimes May, depending on how much Otarma has collected, and how much they have had in outlay of cash or outlay of insurance premiums, then we get X number of dollars back from them each year.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay, call in and try to set up a face-to-face meeting.
Now, I'd say that's what we need to do.
I'll send her a message and ask her just to double check, cause we don't wanna lose anything as far as legality wise. or anything that we're concerned about.
Anything else on this subject? If
That was
not,
all I had.
read the minutes.
Okay, there's 3 sets of minutes. And the minutes for the year-end meeting was December the 29th, 2022, at the meeting room at 9 o'clock in the morning. In attendance was Bob Pullins, Lloyd Gass, Ransom Callaway, Gail Buckley, and then my additional sheet for those that were here in the meeting. Robert Pullins held the meeting to order with reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Public speaking, Mr. McBride asked about the progress on Young Road. Bob stated that we're waiting on engineering specifications. Bob stated that Park Road is having the tiebacks placed in and should be completed soon. Robert Pullins asked for the bills and a motion to pay the bills if money is sufficient. Willie made a motion to pay the bills. Ransom seconded. All approved. All bills were paid. Payroll was signed and given to the trustees and the fiscal officer. All end of the month paperwork was given to the trustees. Jerry Green asked about the Moore grant for the fire department and if boots could be used for the recoupment. Minutes were read. Willie made a motion to accept the minutes as read with corrections. Ransom seconded. All approved. The correspondence was read and approved. Old business, the red dump truck is fixed and back in service. The white dump truck has a drag in the hydraulic system, and the trustees said that they would look into it, what issue might be. Boom mower needed some welding on the frame. New business, Bob asked to go into executive session at 9:45 a.m. to discuss an employee issue. Ransom made a motion and Willie seconded. Ransom made a motion to come back into regular session. Willie seconded it. All approved. Sorry, I missed that. The trustees had some discussion about a new skid steer. They said that the John Deere is about $11,000 cheaper than the Case and the Kubota. The trustees decided to get paperwork on the skid steer from John Deere. A temporary budget and revenue budget was presented to the trustees for their approval. Ransom made a motion to accept the temporary appropriations and revenue budget. Willie seconded. All approved. Firehouse news. The firehouse presented their activity sheet for December, $25 cash for the meeting room. Bob asked for a motion to adjourn the meeting. Willie made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Ransom seconded. All approved. The next one is the organizational meeting, which took place directly following that. In attendance was Bob Pullins, Willie Guess, Ransom Callaway, Gail Buckley. Mr. McBride left. Robert Pullins called the meeting to order. The trustees made a motion to leave all positions and road coverage the same. Ransom made the motion. Willie seconded. All approved. Robert Pullins is the president of the trustees. Ransom Callaway is vice president. Willie Guess is trustee. Carthage Township meetings will be held on the first Monday of each month at the Township meeting room at 7 o'clock unless the day is a holiday. Then it will be moved to the next day at the same time and location. Bob asked for a motion to adjourn the meeting. Ransom made the motion to adjourn the meeting. Willie was seconded and all approved. These minutes were for a special meeting on January 9th, 2022 at the Carthage Township meeting room at 7 o'clock. Sorry. In attendance was Bob Pullins, Ransom Callaway, Willie Guess, for the trustees, Gail Buckley, the fiscal officer, and John McBride and Jim Allen. Bob Pullins called the meeting to order with reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. This meeting was to discuss the possible purchase of a 1996 Pierce fire truck from Westview Volunteer Fire Department in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The cost is $32,500. It has an upgraded engine. The engine is an 04 to meet the PA emissions standards. Bob asked about the truck. Ransom replied that it has more than the truck now and has newer items as well. Trustees asked about driving it back or having it shipped by a company. We'll need items to outfit it completely. Jim Allen presented a bill for gas for the trip and back. 5 members from the fire department went. Jared Nutter drove his personal car, the check would be given to him. Ransom was checking with a couple of the haul companies, waiting for an answer. Willie asked about rust. Ransom stated that there was some inside the toolbox. Bob asked for a motion to buy the fire truck from Westview Volunteer Fire Department. Willie made the motion, Ransom seconded, all approved. Ransom made a motion to transfer the down payment of $3,250 electronically to the Westview Volunteer Fire Department to hold the truck. Willie seconded, all approved. Willie made a motion to hire a transport company to haul fire truck from Pennsylvania to Ohio. Ransom seconded, all approved. Ransom made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Willie seconded, all in favor.
Well, Jim furnished the money to buy the gas to go look at the truck like we did a bill for Jared.
Do what?
Well, in the statement here,
That was what you guys signed off on today. Jim gave me the bill at the meeting and said this was for the gasoline
okay,
for Jared's
okay, I
vehicle.
read that now. All right, got it,
Cause he drove.
okay, got it. Any corrections, additions, or omissions? Either three of them?
Yeah, small stuff. The January 9th special meeting, that was 7 AM, not 7 PM. I don't know whether that matters or not, but,
Oh, sorry. Yes, it does.
and down there where, never mind, sit there now. That's all I see.
Sorry about that. It's because most of my meetings are PM and I just,
Yeah, well,
cause I use templates.
which was the,
It's the
oh,
7 confidence, that's all I had.
boom mower ain't been fixed yet. You ever anything from?
I got a call in to them, they just haven't come back to me yet. At the same time, we're supposed to look at the broken, windshield in the fire truck.
Windshield or what?
Fire truck.
Oh. Any other corrections or additions or omissions? I didn't do anything with the John Deere this year because kinda waited after April and see what our money's gonna be. And I got a feeling that the high price for everything right now, people ain't gonna pay the taxes, but it's gonna be down.
Yeah.
That's just my, we down 30,000 this year. I hope that we don't drop another 30 next year.
And I feel the gas tax is gonna fall off too.
Well, they've been talking about that, about the gas tax going, and that's a huge chunk of change, cause it runs between $11,000 and $13,000 a month is what we bring in, and that offsets the cost of equipment, what we have to put wages and, upkeep on the equipment.
Okay, hearing no further additions or corrections, I move to accept all 3 minutes as read.
Second,
I'll second.
all approved? Aye.
Can I ask a question? How'd you break a windshield on the fire truck?
I'm not sure, it's not a crash, it's crack,
Oh,
so.
could be temperature.
It could be, yeah, it could be a stress relief or a stress crack, temperature. I don't think anything struck it, but we've got a crack. And I'm pretty sure it's the old style laminated glass. That's, and it didn't crumble.
I will send Wendy a message and see if the, insurance will cover the cost of that with the,
Okay, but the plan is, both engines are almost identical if you stand and look at them, and there might be some differences. But I'm asking Jeremy if he can take the windshield out of one truck and put it in the other, and vice versa. So,
I know where I'd do that or not, I'm gonna try to sell it, truck. You know, sell fucking glass.
that'll probably,
But you're gonna take the tires off, and put them on the new truck.
yeah.
You can keep taking stuff off, and you don't have anything out.
Well,
That's
if
my opinion.
if the insurance company will cover it, sure, we'll do that, but
I don't know what we'll get out of it anyway, but.
my suggestion is that we gather up all the surplus tools and equipment that we've got and equip that truck as nearly as a department would want it to be, and then offer it for sale. Extra hose that we've got, extra tools that we're not gonna need. I think there's several items that we can put on that truck that we don't need now.
No, you gotta-
Because there was a lot of items came with the new truck.
Right. Can you go through there and make a list of what you're gonna do and then bring it back to us and see what you're gonna do?
Is that the
Or
88
one.
years, the windshield strap on?
Actually, it's the newer.
It's the
One
96.
88 and one's an 88, one's an 89, isn't it? Or is it 87 and 88?
No, I think it's an 87, or an 88 and 89.
It'd be in that list, insurance list.
I just didn't know which one it was. '87 and '88. You were
Yeah,
correct.
88.
Yeah, '87 and '88.
So the
88.
88 is one that's,
Okay. I'll send her a message. She'll probably get it about 2 o'clock in the morning to answer us.
Do you have any
I will get
correspondence?
sleep. Yeah. Okay, we got just got, notice, when we laid, Keith off, we get a statement that says this is what he makes per week. And we just get the, information that says this is what his, charges will be, that he receives each week, and how long he'll have it for. I told you guys about the check, the $110,000 for the, EMA, check for roadside parking. This was the emails back and forth, from me, to Clinton, to you, that's what this is, we've gone through it as well. Bobcat, maybe you guys can shed some light on this. Jeffords Corporation, which is over in Parkersburg, where you guys buy the Bobcat stuff, it says, as a valued Bobcat customer, we are writing to let you know with an update regarding the local service of Bobcat equipment. With the recent closure of Bobcat of Advantage Valley, Bobcat of Parkersburg, and Bobcat of Parkersburg, Jeffords Corporation Bobcat locations, we are working to ensure there will be no interruption to your ordering parts or service needs. We stand behind our brand's original. So they're leaving the Parkersburg and the Clarksburg open, but they'll just be, they're under a different head name now.
The information I got today was they wasn't gonna, sell Bobcats anymore.
that's the information that came to us.
Yeah.
Okay, that's hilarious.
They sold that portion of the Bobcat enterprise.
Right.
Yeah, it just says during this transition, all equipment orders, parts, and service will be supported through Bobcat's network of knowledgeable dealers in your area, so does that mean that?
That was the order we got today, so we'll get after we get the part for, we're gonna see what we got.
That must be the same message you guys got. These are just, this is Columbus Equipment Company, I don't know why it comes to my house, but it does. And then this is EV power equipment, so, you know, we wanna make sure that we get as much electric vehicle power. This was the other one for Keith. Diamond Stone, this is in your guys' folder, with the increase. Sorry, it's an increase in stone. Basically, it went up about $2 a ton.
Yeah, the last half of this letter explains that there's only 4 Bobcat Enterprises and Parkersburg's not one of them.
Oh, okay, so I misread that then. I thought it was meaning that the Clarksburg and Bob.
Daniels, West Virginia, Belmont, Ohio, Zanesville, Ohio, Reynoldsburg, Ohio.
So maybe we better look at, instead of getting the fifth tier, getting the new. Anyhow, we ain't gonna be able to get parts for that son of a gun. You don't like that grader.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. What do you do first?
You guys have another, it's from the Athens County Recorder's Office. All it's basically saying is that, due to the passage of House Bill 562, that the recording fees for zoning resolutions and zoning amendments have been reduced. They went from 100 to 50, and then from, that's what it is, they went from 100 to 50. And the fee to record the zoning amendment is now $20, regardless of size of roof. There's no action that's required, it's just letting you know. It really doesn't pertain to us, it's if it's zoning. Please consider the
Yeah.
information notice only, no action is required, so. This is the rest of this is younger on this one. So that's just about it on my, besides the insurance policy that we got. And this, the bills that come in through my.
Old business.
I'll update everybody on this. The water company, whenever they wanna do a tap, they, send an application to the county engineer's office, and the county engineer's office basically doesn't wanna see them anymore. Because they don't deal with township roads. So I went down to Bar 30, Tuppers Plains, Chester Water, and I tried to straighten it out with the gals in the office. Whenever they wanna do an application for a new tap, they should just use Carthage Township letterhead. Use the same type, same language, same pages, and so on, but send it to us, don't send it to the engineer's office.
Okay.
That one we already took care of.
And this one's taken care of, this is on Jordan Road. So I don't know if they'll send it to Bob, send it, to you,
Come to my evening.
but you say,
Did you get it? Come to my evening.
I didn't get anything from them.
along with these application permits, they've been sending the engineer $50, so they should be sending us a $50 permit fee.
Yeah, cause we had two last fall, one was for the one on, Barner, where the new house is going across from,
$40.
well, it's the new house that's, yeah.
Pretty close to Bucks.
Yeah.
The rest of
And
it.
then there was another one, I don't remember where it was at. You were not Bruce Street, I don't remember. Because we had to fill them out, and then they had to go back, we had to send them to the water department. Once we said, yeah, it was okay for them to do it, and then we didn't say anything other than that. I mean, we got
I
it,
don't-
filled it out,
you
and
know,
sent it back to them.
The people in the engineer's office, they didn't understand why Tuppers Plains was sending these to them. There's even positions on here for the engineers to sign off on, and the commissioners to sign off on it, which they just don't.
Mm.
It's left up to the trustees. Actually, it's just a formality, because, let you
Any
know
more old business?
that they're gonna do it.
Not, we'll move to new business. A little red truck, ton truck, leaking oil real bad, it goes to
With them.
Wickham tomorrow to get checked out, see if we can get it fixed. Other than that, that's all I have. Like the young roads thing, we don't know where we're gonna see yet, so.
Yeah. Okay. Title for the new truck, we took care of that today, so you can file it away, with the other titles.
Okay.
This is ours. And, I hope this don't get too complicated. We had 2 rentals. Actually 3, one is a prepay. January and February, and we had 1 rental in February. So I have a total here of $75 rentals. But the, title transfer cost me $17.50, so I used $17.50 of the rent money. So therefore, there's only $52.50 in rent money. Does any of that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And here's the letter to explain it.
Okay.
I guess I should make a note on there that it's a fire truck and need an issue. And to get the VIN number checked out, it cost me $5, so I paid for it.
So you need a reimbursement for it.
Yeah, I know it's kinda piddly, but yes, I'd like reimbursed. We had to have, since it was an out-of-state vehicle, they had to verify the VIN before they'd issue an Ohio title. So we had to take the truck up there, and we coordinated it on the way to get the new decals and the stickers on the truck, which the truck is in Albany now, being lettered and decaled. So,
Any more new business? If not, motion to adjourn.
I've got stuff here for the fire department.
Okay.
We had, 2 runs in January. January the 2nd, NBA on South Penn Road, truck versus tractor. And then January the 12th, we had a mutual aid with Richland on Coolville Ridge on structure part. Is any runs we had in January? In January, we didn't have, well, in December, we didn't have enough members there to do our elections. So in January, we did our elections, and this is the line officers that was voted in. And I'd like to have your guys' signature on that to approve or disapprove.
So you had 3 captains?
Well, that's the nominees for it.
Oh,
those are the nominees.
The one that's marked there is the one that got elected in.
okay, okay. I don't know.
One's in red. While you guys are reading that, I'll go ahead and tell you some more. The grant that I put in for the battery powered rescue tools has been approved. We are just waiting on for the commissioner to sign off on it for us to go ahead and order.
Sounds good. What do you know about the House bill that just got passed by Divine,
Same
509? I was reading a little bit about it,
keep one, he
piece
keeps one
of
back.
market for the paper, that
And I guess-
certification deal. What do you know about since you're an instructor?
The one big thing that's gonna hit coming in, I believe it's May, the new changes they made is they're gonna lower the standards of firefighting in the state of Ohio. Yeah,
The way he was stating,
they're
they
gonna
was
take
gonna,
they're gonna take it from 54 hours of training every 3 years to you have to have 48, I believe it was.
Yeah.
So that's gonna lower the quality of, training hours they have to have. But coincide that, if I understand it right, all training will have to be done at a certified training facility. So in-house training will not cost, or not count. So you're liable to be paying $20, $40, $50 an hour to get your firefighters trained. And this is what we, and I hate to say chiefs, because I know it's not really the chiefs, but you gotta say somebody, this is what they're wanting. This is what they requested, and it's not a good thing for volunteer firefighters. They're also looking at coinciding with NFPA 1010, I believe it is, to where they're going to change, we'll say, fire training to where it is not interior structural firefighting, it'll be for outside only. Which means if somebody's in the house, you're not allowed to go in and get them. The only thing about that is, in this area, there's very few people that's actually trained and qualified to go in and get them, so they shouldn't be going in and getting them anyway. But on the other hand, they're looking at making it where you can have somebody drive the truck that does not have to be a certified firefighter, which means they'll have no common sense of, or compensation of what's going on in there to be able to run a truck for them, which again is not good.
no,
But it also makes it so you don't wanna be a certified firefighter, you just come down and drive the truck. Now, what's gonna happen with that, since they're not firefighters, they'll probably have to be certified with a CDL license, cause they're not gonna be covered on the exemption for the fire service.
they have to be,
They'll
something
probably
have to be done so it'd be covered under our agency.
Yeah, and it's gonna make it more of a liability for the township. They'll also make it where they probably, hopefully, will at least have to take some type of pump training to be a pump operator, which would probably be more than the 36-hour class was to begin with, and it will cost a lot more, and they'll probably have to go to Columbus to do it. None of this stuff has really been spelled out, but that's one of the bills that's going through right now.
Well, the 509, the way I read it, that Divine already signed it, this takes effect in April.
Yes. Yeah. But there's another recommendation coming through from the state fire marshal that did a volunteer task force that was a bunch of paid firefighters from northern Ohio going around trying to fix the volunteer service. And their recommendations is coming out and it's not looking real favorable. It's looking favorable in some spots and some spots it's not. The training for firefighters in this part of the state is relaxed, if you're asking me as a fire instructor. It's hard enough to get anybody, so,
Yeah.
we'll take anybody and everybody and, we're putting people in charge that don't have the training they need to have. And when I say training, some people have a lot of experience, which makes up for that training.
Right.
But there's a lot of them that have no training, no experience that we're putting in charge out there. I'm sure you guys heard about the firefighter down in Middleport died a couple years ago, or a couple months ago.
Yeah.
That was the second crash we've had in this area, so when people's telling you it don't happen around here,
Actually knew that guy.
they're not. And there's been 3 or 4 other firefighters in the area that's died. An assistant chief from Murray City died a month ago in a car crash. Nothing to do with the fire service, but so these bills are not really making it where we're on trainer firefighters really need to be. old adage, it never happens here, well, it's happening here now.
The more you learn on that, keep us updated with you.
If you would like for me to, I will try to keep you updated as I
Please.
can.
Appreciate it. Any other business?
Yeah. The new truck is out at Kim Lines right now being lettered. She's taking all the old lettering off and doing all the new for it. And here's some pictures of what the truck will look like. And there's a quote she gave to us too.
The quote's for 2565.
Yeah, 25. And she's shooting for Wednesday afternoon, if not definitely by Thursday or Thursday morning will be done, she said.
Pretty good.
The radios have been reprogrammed in it,
Well, we're done.
they're done.
So it's about ready to go into service, so you can get it back.
As soon as we get it back, we lose equipment.
Good deal.
And on the way back, we're gonna stop out at Warehouse Tar and ask them if they could switch the tars from the old 50 to the new 50. And that's all I have.
Anything else, guys? Not motion adjourned.
Next meeting, or we adjourn, next meeting should be March the 6th. That's the first Monday, 7 o'clock. Assuming there won't be any issues. There's no more holidays.
Motion adjourned.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all for coming.